Praise the Lord. I welcome you all to our study of the book of Revelation. It starts reading, the revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him, to shew unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John. So here starts our study of the book of Revelation. As we started, I would like to tell you a few things as introduction about the way in which we are going to study the book of Revelation in these classes. First of all, I'm not making a scholastic approach to the book of Revelation. On the other hand, I'm trying to explain it as clearly as possible to the understanding of the dummies. In the sense, people who know absolutely nothing at all about the book of Revelation. They are my viewers in my mind. They are the people whom I have in my mind as I teach the book of Revelation through these classes. So I try to make it as clear as possible, not from the scholar's point of view, but from the point of view of a person who does not understand the ABC of it. Therefore, I start the study with the minimum amount of introduction, minimum pieces of information as way of introduction. So where do we start? In this class, I would like to highlight a few of the importance or the specialities of the book of Revelation. Well, the book of Revelation has a lot of specialities, lots and lots of specialities. I am not going to go through every one of these in this class or in the coming classes at all, but I am only trying to give a few of them for our very important or necessary understanding. The book of Revelation, as you know, is the only prophetical book in the New Testament. That is one of its first specialities. New Testament doesn't have any other book that can be called entirely as a prophetical book. The book of Revelation is the only one prophetical book in the New Testament. And secondly, this book has a lot of accusations against it. Plenty of accusations. The first accusation is certainly that this is a book that an ordinary person or a normal reader would find hard to understand, or a book that is difficult to understand. I just want to clear this view as we progress our study of the book of Revelation. All the 65 books of the Bible, readers would say that they are easy to understand when a man reads it. When a person reads it well, it's not very difficult to understand. And then comes the 66th book, the last book, which is hard or difficult to understand. There is something wrong there in it. If God has given us 65 books that are easy to comprehend, and the 66th book hard, difficult, impossible to comprehend, then there is something wrong somewhere. I cannot believe or I cannot accept that view that God has given us the last book of the Bible a stumbling block that we cannot understand. No, it is not like that. If the 65 books of the Bible are comprehensible, are something we can understand, then certainly the 66th book is something that we can more easily understand. Then why there is the view that the 66th book is a difficult book to understand? There are reasons behind it. The first reason certainly is we haven't understood the 65 books properly so that we can understand the last one. So our problem is we didn't study the other 65 books properly. So we are not able to understand the 66th book. That is our problem. And not only that, the book of Revelation has so many specialities, and one of its specialities is that it is the book of the victory of man. It is a book that offers ultimate triumph, ultimate success to human being. When we look at the Bible, especially the book of Genesis, we see man a loser. Human being is a loser in the book of Genesis. What does he lose? Certainly, he loses the paradise, that is the Garden of Eden, where God wanted him to be. Is that the only one he loses? No. He has lost the halo or the glory of God with which he was clothed. He lost it. And not only that, he lost his dominion over everything else. And his communion and his fellowship and his contact with God and the presence of God also, and his ability to communicate with God easily, all he lost. We see man a hopeless loser in the book of Genesis. But when we come to the book of Revelation, it is the other way around. In the book of Revelation, we see man is taken back to paradise. In the book of Revelation, we see he is there with the tree of life and the tree of knowledge. Now he can eat from the tree of life. And not only that, we see God coming down to live with man. Man has got back. He has obtained his communion and his fellowship with God. He started living with God again. That's what we see in the book of Revelation. So, in the book of Revelation, the loser of Genesis is a winner. And then, in the book of Genesis, we have a pretended hero. Somebody who pretends to be a hero. Who is that pretended hero? None other than devil himself, Satan. He pretends to be hero. And that's what he tries to teach the world with, or that is the message he wants to convey, he wants to put across to the world. What message? Satan is hero. But when we come to the book of Revelation, we see a different story. What is the different story we see? The different story is Satan is a loser. He loses everything that he presumes to have or that he pretends to have in the book of Genesis. So he is an ultimate failure. He is caught. He is tied down. He is tried. And he is chained. He is cast into everlasting hell forever. So, that story of Satan's ultimate failure is something that he does not want the human beings or human world to come to know. He does not want anybody to come to know that he is going to be an ultimate loser, and man, with the help of God, is going to be ultimate winner. Therefore, the devil always hides our eyes from being able to see the things God has in store for us in the book of Revelation. If the book of Genesis starts with curses and burdens and punishments and disappointments and frustrations and failures, the book of Revelation ends with the other way around, with joy and success and reconciliation and glory and communion with God and all these things. Devil just doesn't want you and I to come to know that that's where our destiny is going to be. And his destiny, devil's destiny, is fixed to end up in hell. So, because he does not want us to understand that, He comes with another ploy. What's his ploy? He tells us that the book of Revelation is a hidden text and we cannot understand it. And not only that, in the case of many believers or most of the believers, they try not to read this book. Their argument is not only that they are not able to understand it, but their argument is that it is not necessary that a believer should understand the book of Revelation. A person can lead a good Christian life, a good spiritual life, even without reading or understanding the book of Revelation. So it is not necessary that a believer or a child of God should read and understand the book of Revelation. Well, I want to tell something in this introduction, that it is very, very important for every child of God to read and to study and to understand completely what the book of Revelation holds for them, holds for us. So it's very important that we should read it. Why is it important that we should read it? Only when we study the book of Revelation, we have a clear idea of where we are going to. Until or unless that, we don't have the clarity of idea regarding our own destiny. So, to be clear about our own destiny, to be able to understand as clearly as possible what or where we are going to, it's very important that we should study the book of Revelation. That helps us grow towards spiritual maturity. That's another way in which I should fairly put it. So, what are we going to do? Number one, we're going to change our attitude towards the book. What's our attitude? The attitude that this is something we cannot understand. We're going to change that attitude and we're going to take a new attitude. That is, yes, I'm going to study it, I'm going to understand it, because my God is going to make it revealed to me. Make it revealed to me. So, we have to get that new attitude. And secondly, we should tell the devil that it is none of his business. It's our inheritance. It's our blessing, it's a matter of our blessing, and we're going to study it. We are not going to listen to what the devil is telling us about the study of the book of Revelation. As I have already told you, God is not going to start the Bible with books that we can understand and end it up with something that we don't understand. If that is the way in which we look at it, then there is something seriously wrong about our understanding of God Himself. So it's very important that we change it. And the next thing I want to tell as introduction of the book of Revelation is that this book is authored not by John, because it says the book, the revelation of Jesus Christ. It doesn't say the revelation of John, but it says the revelation of Jesus Christ. So, of all the books of the Bible, the only one book of which the author is God Himself is certainly the book of Revelation. The author of the book of Revelation is Jesus Christ, not John. Then what is John's function? John is only a scribe. He gets things from God and then he writes them down. He is only a scribe, he is not the author. What a wonderful privilege it is that we are going to read and study and enjoy ourselves with the book that God Himself authored. The author is God, Jesus Christ Himself. And as we start reading, it says, the revelation of Jesus Christ. That is the one phrase which I think I'll be able to explain today. The revelation of Jesus Christ. The word revelation means to reveal, to unveil, to bring to light, to bring to our understanding. Look, the very title of the book is Revelation, revealing, not hiding. So, God has told it Revelation, and we have called it Book of Hidden Things. So, it's our problem, not God's problem again. So, Revelation, Apocalypse means to remove the curtain from something so that it could be easily seen or it could be easily revealed. Like somebody unveiling a statue, this book is unveiling things. That's why the title of the book is Revelation. Revelation means to unveil or to reveal or to bring to clarity, make clear, remove the curtain. And then revelation of what? Revelation of Jesus Christ. The phrase revelation of Jesus Christ has more than one meaning. First of all, it means the revelation given by Jesus Christ. So the entire topics in this book are given to us by Jesus Christ. So Jesus Christ is the person that gives the revelations or the content or the topics of this book. That is the first meaning of it. And the second meaning of it is the subject matter of the book is Jesus. The hero of the book is Jesus. The central character or the protagonist of the book is Jesus. So the entire book is about Jesus. That's the second meaning. So Jesus Christ is the central character of this book. So this book is about Jesus Christ. And the third meaning is, as the statue is unveiled, when this book unveils, it shows a person, and that person is Jesus. When the curtain is removed, we see somebody. Who is that somebody we see? The somebody we see is Jesus Christ. And that's why revelation of Jesus Christ. And then, what is the importance of giving a book entirely for the revelation of Jesus Christ when four gospel writers have certainly written the life story and the works of Jesus from different perspectives? Why do we need another book entirely for it? Yes, we need another book entirely for it. Because the things that this book reveals about Jesus Christ, we don't see the same revelation in Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. That is the first reason why we need a book entirely for this theme. And secondly, the book of Revelation is the culmination of all the biblical prophecies in all the other 66 books of the Bible. So without the book of Revelation, there is no culmination, there is no logical end to the prophetical things that are given in the other 65 books of the Bible. And that's why it is very, very important. So we are coming to the revelation of Jesus Christ. As I told you, the hero of the book is none other than the Lord Jesus Christ himself. And then it reads, God the Father gave this revelation to his Son Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ gave this revelation to his servant, an angel. And the angel gave the revelation to John the apostle in the island of Patmos, where he was living as a prisoner or in exile. And John has written it. John wrote it to the churches existent in those days in Asia Minor, and thus the book has come to us. So the starting point is from God the Father. That is the speciality, the great speciality, I should say the greatest speciality of this book, that the entire revelation comes from God the Father. And then God the Father gave it to his Son Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ gave it to an angel. And the angel to John. And from John to us. That's the speciality of this book. And why Jesus was giving, or God the Father was giving, these types of revelations to Jesus at this particular moment. That is, a few years, quite a number of years after his crucifixion and resurrection. As I told you already, this book contains prophetical things to happen in the end time, especially things regarding, details regarding the second coming of Jesus, and details regarding the things to happen in the end time, or the end time ministry, end time prophecies, the fulfillment of end time and end time prophecies. When Jesus was on earth, as he was teaching his disciples about the end time, they wanted to know when those things were going to be fulfilled. They were very inquisitive. And to their excitement, Jesus told them that regarding his coming back and the events to happen in connection with that and the events to proceed from that, he told, he did not know. No angels knew. Holy Spirit himself didn't know. Then who knew it? Only one person, that is God the Father. So these things were hidden in the heart of God the Father. They were not revealed to Jesus when Jesus was on earth. Who told it? Jesus himself told it. If Jesus himself has told it, well, he was the sort of person who would call a spade a spade. No change. We cannot assume that he came from heaven and therefore he certainly knew it. If he said he did not know it, then he did not know it. But that Son of God, as he was obedient to death, even to the death on the cross, God the Father raised him from the dead, and God the Father lifted him up until he reached a place where every principality and dominion and rule and everything in heaven and earth came under his feet. And he got a seat above all other seats. He got a position above all other positions. Now, we can very well understand that because Jesus became victorious as a human being, God the Father found it appropriate that he should be revealing to his Son the details of things that were going to happen in the end time. So, Jesus got the revelation of the things that are going to happen in the end time. He certainly wanted to share that pieces of information with his children, or with disciples, or with his church, his bride. Therefore, he came down to the island of Patmos to speak such things, or to reveal such things to his beloved servant John, who was in exile in the island of Patmos. And now, as we come to the structural pattern of the book, or I should say the technicalities of this book, we can see that the stage setting or the scenic background of this book, to begin with, it's in Patmos. From there, it moves to the different churches at that time, that is his earth. From there, it moves up towards heaven, and then it comes back to earth. So the earth and heaven are certainly the scenic background of this particular book, or the events to take place, events in this book to take place. And then there are different speakers in this book. If you don't know who are the speakers in this book, we will certainly be in confusion, not knowing which is which and what is what. Who are the speakers in this book? Primarily, John, the person who saw the revelation and who wrote the revelation. So the one of the speakers in this book is John, as he says, I, your brother and your fellow servant in your suffering and in the testimony of Jesus Christ. When he says, I, John, he means John. He speaks. And then certainly, Jesus himself speaks. In verses like where you see Jesus saying, I was alive, I was dead, but now I am alive. I am Alpha and Omega. I got the key of hell and death in my hand. Well, that is Jesus. That doesn't mean it is John. John is Alpha or Omega, or John was dead then alive. No, it is certainly Jesus. And we also have another speaker, that is the angel, who is revealing things to Jesus. So far we have John and Jesus and the angel, the three people, and heaven and hell. And beyond that, or in spite of that, we also listen to the voices and words, not a lot, of other people, especially angels involved in it, and the prayers of martyrs involved in it. In such cases, we know who it is, whether it is an angel or a martyr or whoever else it may be speaking in that context. And then, when we read the book again, there is one more thing that's very, very important to understand: the revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him, to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. So the things in the book of Revelation are to come to pass, are to happen very quickly, and he sent and signified it by his angel. So the language of the book of Revelation, that's what we are coming to. The language of the book of Revelation is different in many areas from the language of the other 65 books. And what is the speciality? The speciality is that the sign language is used. That is, he sent and signified means he used the language of sign. Why did he use the language of sign? Because every language has its limitations. Every language that human beings can understand has its own limitations. The speaker of the particular language understands things spoken in that language, but if it is in another language, he may not understand it. And God has a universal view. The Bible is not for one group of people only, not for the Jews, or only for the Christians, or for the Palestinians, or for the Europeans, or for Asians or Africans only, but for everybody. But there is no single language in the world that is comprehensible to all human beings. As I told you, every language has its limits. Therefore, in spite of human languages, God gave the sign language also. For example, if I write danger in English, a person who understands English can read and understand, oh, there is danger. Or in whatever other language. Suppose somebody else comes here and that somebody does not know this language, you won't understand that he is facing danger or he is crossing dangerous areas. Instead, if you draw the picture of a skull and two pieces of bones, there is no language, but everybody understands easily that there is a dangerous point there, spot of danger there. So the book of Revelation is mostly in language of signs because of the sign language. And these signs are from the Old Testament, as I told you. These signs, all of them from the Old Testament. It's very important that we should have a sound knowledge, a good idea, a good understanding of all the other 66 books, especially the Old Testament books, and more especially the Jewish customs and the Jewish practices and the temples temple of Jerusalem and the tabernacles and the services and the worship and the priestly order and such things there. Because all the symbols of the books are taken from there. God willing, we will be able to continue, see these things in the coming classes. May the Lord bless you.